Hey guys, let's make a screw in Moai 3D. And while we're at it, let's make a nut as well. Before we get started, let me say a big thank you to Michael Gibson over at Moment of Inspiration for giving me a license of this software so I can show it to you guys. Okay, let's get started making our screw. So we'll start off with the shaft in the middle of the screw. So we'll get a solid cylinder. And I'll click on the origin and pull it out, I don't know, like so. And then pick the end point. So let's go up around here. And I'm obviously not like measuring this or making it very precise. You can if you want. In the latest beta version we have dimensions, so you can draw these out and figure out exactly how long things are, but I don't need that. This is just for fun. Okay, so let's make the point on the end of it. We'll use a cone, and I'll click in the center there. Of course now it's going on top and I want it on the bottom. Oops, hold on. Let's put this up here. Okay. Try that again. Click in the center, bring it out, and then bring it up. Like that. And so I can grab them both, and we'll just rotate around. So now it's on the bottom. Okay, and so I'm going to name these shaft. I try to name things frequently so that I can open the objects here and I can show and hide them or select them pretty easily just from the list. And if you don't know, this is in the browser button here. Okay, so now let's make some threads to go around that. So I'll come up here to draw curve and more and helix, and pick the center and down here, and then the start and the anchor point be right there. So now we got our spiral going along there. I think I'm going to add a couple more turns. Not 57, a 7. And we'll see how that looks. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll click done. And so now I can hide my shaft, huh? There you go. And we will name this helix. Now, we don't want it to be just a flat circle like this with the ends just stopping, because we want our threads to taper in towards there, towards the center. So let's draw a freeform curve. You can do control points or through points, however you like. I like to use control points. And so I'm going to click here and just going to make it curve in like so. And then right click to stop it. Okay, now cancel. Select that so we can see it is on top. And look at the view here in 3D so I can see where it's going. See, it's going the opposite direction. So I'm going to mirror that because I can use this one for the bottom. And so I'll come over to transform, mirror, and click here and just drag straight across and click. So now I have this one going the correct way, and I can just take this one and drag it down to the bottom, and I'm going to use move And I'll just click there, and then come down and click again. Now they're... Oops, I dragged both of them somehow. So I want this one. Move, click, click. Okay, now one's at the top and one's at the bottom. And now I can select them all and join all of them and join. So now they're, well, all one. Looks like I probably didn't move this properly. Yes, it is not at the right spot. So let's move again, click, and click there. So now it is actually on the end. So now I can select everything and join. Okay, so now everything is all one object. So now let's make the shape that we're gonna wrap around that. So let's zoom in here. I'll go with a freeform curve, and I'm just gonna make it go like that. It might even be a little bit too harsh, so let's click and show points, and then I'll bring that over a little bit. There we go. And right click to drop the show points. And so now I can mirror that. Select it first, mirror, click, drag across, and click. Now I can select both of those and join. So now they're all one. So now let's position it the way we want it. I'll rotate a bit, bring it over. So we can actually tweak this later. Ooh, what's going on here? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put it around there. We can adjust it later. But I'm going to make my threads. So let's select that. And I'll come over here to construct, revolve, rail revolve, and my main object, my profile is already selected, and so I'll just use this helix as the rail, and it says pick revolve axis start point, so that'll be right here, and then just click anywhere along that line. And there we go. So we can now, we could delete our original rail and profile shape, but it's best to leave them. And in fact, they are not named currently, so I'm going to name them helix again. So now I can show my shaft. And that looks pretty good. But if you do want to adjust the shape of it, we can bring our helix back. Oh, let's name this thread. So that I can hide it. So now let's grab our shape here. And the threads will actually reappear as soon as I start adjusting this. But move it, there we go. So you can see that it changes the shape of them just by changing the original profile. Okay, and so let's hide our helix, and we'll bring our shaft back. And let's take a look here. So clearly it is going up too high. So I can just scale it down a little bit. And then I'll move it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And if you're absolutely sure, you could just take these two objects and weld them together using Boolean and union, but I like to keep it separate so that way you can adjust it if you want to later. So let's make the head of our screw. Zoom out a little bit, zoom this out a bit. So let's come up to draw solid. Oh, cancel that. Draw solid, draw cylinder, click in the center, and we'll select how wide it will be. Say like that. And then how tall it will be. Like so. And then I want to round that off, so I'm going to select that top edge and come down to construct and fillet. And then let's figure out what our radius will be. Let's just try 1. See, that's too small. Try 2. Pretty close. Let's try like 2.2. 2.2. Okay. Still not ideal. Try 2.5. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, and now we need to make the cross section where our Phillips head screwdriver will go. Let's click done on that. So I'm going to come up here to box and let's go with the center type. And I'm going to click in the center here, and then we'll pull it out like so, and up, and we'll click to stop it. And we could just leave it flat, but I think a lot of screws actually have a slight bevel in there. So let's go to draw curve and lines, and I'm going to start out here, go somewhere in here like so. I'm going to take that one and mirror it, transform, mirror, click this end and drag. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, let's mirror, click this end. Well, actually I'll click here in the intersection right in the middle. Now we can drag up, and now it's mirrored. So now I can select this one, construct Boolean difference, select that first line and right click, and now we can delete this and actually delete that line, and then just do the same thing on the other side. Boolean difference, click, right click, and click that and hit delete. And then I want to make this an X, so I'm going to duplicate this. Control C, Control V, and then rotate one of them. So now I can select both of those, drag them down into the screw head, like so, and click away, and I'll select the screw head, Boolean difference, select that, and that. Oops, hold on. Select that, and that. There we go. And then right click, and there we've got our cut for the screwdriver to go into. And so that's it. We've got our lovely screw. And we can hide our edges so it looks nicer. And this may not be a perfect screw, and it may not be measured perfectly, but it's a pretty cool screw, and so I hope you learned something from watching me make it. Let's bring this up to full 3D. There we go. Got a nice lovely view of our screw. And then we could actually even merge everything together. Okay, let's hide our edges, and now we have all one object, or okay, almost all one object, but we could actually print this out. Make a 3D print of it, and then you could actually make a nut that would go around there and actually fit on it. I'll show you quickly how we can make a nut shape. So let's hide our shaft and our thread. Oh, okay, so let's just name this. Oops, let's name that screw. So now we can hide the screw. We'll just make a nut. Let's go to draw curve, polygon, and I'm going to make it 6-sided. And let's click in the middle there, drag that out. Here it is. And select it and extrude. Oh, select. There we go. And we'll right click to say we're done. Okay, now we can just drag this up. So we'll make it about like that. And we can take a cylinder, cut that out of the middle. Like so. Click that one, Boolean difference. Click that one and right click. Okay, and so these nuts always have a little bevel around the edge. So let's draw a curve, polyline curve. Zoom in and draw it like that, and then up to this corner and then across to the beginning. So now it's closed, and we can take that triangle and revolve it. Here, let's actually make sure it's lined up properly. There we go. And now we'll revolve it. Yep. Oh, I just hit rail revolve. I just want normal revolve. Let's make sure we have only our edge selected. Revolve. Click in the middle there, and then down here. Okay, now it is going all the way around. And so I can select that, and we'll mirror it. Pick in the middle here, and then across. Okay, so now we have two of them. We can select our nut shape, and construct, Boolean difference, and select our circle shape there, torus. And right click, and now we've got that shape down. Click our nut and right click to repeat the same as the last tool, and click that cutter shape and right click, and there we go. We've got our nut. We can delete all these little cutter shapes we made, and we've got our nut. And then if you want to make the threads, it's the same thing as we did earlier, just doing it in reverse so that they're pointing in instead of pointing out. So there you go. Here's our screw and our nut that is way too big for that screw. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. Please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.